Thank you for joining us today, guys, here at Brodown. I'm your friendly neighborhood Bobuck. I'm joined with my co-host, Mad Dog Mike. We're going to jump right into it today with our Game of Thrones predictions. Personally, last week, Mike, I really thought it was pretty horrible.
I absolutely agree. They focused way too much on the small things. Like, who wants to stare at a horse for 15 minutes?
Right.
Like, whenever they killed the dragon, it took a whole 30 seconds to kill off a whole dragon?
Right.
And then we're looking at this horse that we've never seen before in the history of Game of Thrones. And it's like a 15-minute Arya just caressing the horse and looking at it. And I signed the petition.
I also signed the petition. For people that don't know what we're speaking of, there's a petition out right now to redo the last season of Game of Thrones. Now, my only problem with that is the directors, D&D, that are doing it right now have signed a contract that any Game of Thrones properties produced by HBO, they will be involved in. So, I don't know.
Which kind of sucks.
It really sucks.
Because it's shit.
I don't know if you know this, but they got hired by Disney to do the new Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, that sucks.
So, what I think happened is that they just want to be done with Game of Thrones, and they just want to go do this newer, bigger project.
Why? I don't think in today's world, Game of Thrones is much bigger than any other TV show.
I completely agree with you, and I feel that if you have people that invest 8-9 years into a TV show, this developed, this involved, then you should put the time into it that it deserves. HBO offered them 10 episodes to do the season. They were going to give them all the funding they needed to end it right. And they said, no, we can do it in 6.
Which is complete bullshit because they're doing an absolutely horrible job.
Yeah, it's been bad. But referring back to the horse, I didn't like how they showed the horse for so long, like you said. It definitely set a different tone than the episode I had already set up. But I feel like it was their attempt to foreshadow what's coming. A lot of people are referring to the horse like the horse in the Bible, like how one of the...
I'm not familiar with the Bible.
One of the horsemen in the Bible rode a pale horse, and it was death, describing Arya as death.
That makes a lot of sense,
right?
Because Arya has brought a lot of death.
Very much. And she was the one that killed the Night King.
Exactly, which is, no
it's
small
fitting.
feat.
Right, it's fitting. But as far as the Mad Queen setup that they did, I think they did it too quick. If they would have set it up for the entire season or started last season to where she was kind of losing her grip on reality a little bit, I think it would have flowed much better.
I agree, because she went from completely sane to completely mad, crazy woman type thing going on.
Yeah.
And you could tell, it was all in like a split second.
It was. She seen the Red Keep, and she really just snapped.
I'm here to save you all, and now I'm going to burn my own troops.
Right.
Like, who does that?
Quote, unquote, I am not going to be Queen of the Ashes.
Yeah, that definitely going to be Queen of the Ashes now.
Right.
I mean, there's not much left.
How many people were in that city? I think Tyrion referred to it as 100,000.
Which is no small city.
Yeah, not at all.
Back in that, in that time frame that they have set up.
Well, I'm sure not everybody died. One thing that really upsets me, though, is the inconsistency with troop size. In the Battle of Winterfell, we've seen most of the army die. We've seen all of the Dothraki die. Then in this battle, we see a small army attack the wall. Or not the wall, the city. And then in the intro for the prediction, or whatever you call it, for the next episode,
yeah,
she's standing in front of this huge unsullied army. Like, where the hell did all these people come from?
I don't know. Maybe she's trying to be like the Night King.
Bringing them all back from the dead.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it looked like to me, at least.
Right. So we can agree that last episode was pretty bad.
I tell you what, man. I was at Walmart the other day. I hate going to Walmart. It sucks. Customer service is not the greatest.
People are dirty.
People are dirty. Yes. You get a bum bump whenever you walk in Walmart.
Absolutely.
Just from the air. Anyway, back to what I was going to. They had this little rack set up, those little aisle racks full of Game of Thrones stuff, and they had these little boxes, and they have Oreos for Game of Thrones and everything like that. And then they also had these little figurines. You know, like you could buy the figurines for like, I don't know, Attack on Titan or something equivalent to that.
Right, right.
The little vinyls. And they had these ones sitting on thrones. They had the Night King, which is obviously not going to happen anymore. They had Tyrion Lannister on the throne. And then they also had Daenerys on a throne. I didn't see any Jon Snows on the Iron Throne. I saw him set aside, a little standing figurine, but no Iron Throne with him.
Oh, that's interesting. Especially if they would put Tyrion with an Iron Throne and not Jon, where Jon right now I would consider the main candidate.
Or Sansa.
Right.
I think Sansa would be the perfect candidate. Sansa or Jon?
Yeah, I think Sansa's a natural born leader.
Absolutely. She changed a lot with these last couple seasons.
Right. Everything that she's gone through has definitely made her a smarter person. She figured out Littlefinger all on her own, and Littlefinger started the entire conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters.
Yes. Yeah, Littlefinger needed to die.
But anyway, we're going to jump into our predictions for next week. I personally think, or for later today, it's not even next week. Wow.
Yeah,
it's,
dude.
Time really flew this season.
Yeah, dude. It's Sunday.
Yeah. But anyway, my prediction is Jon will end up killing Dany. Jon will give the throne up to Sansa and Tyrion. And I think either Sansa will end up ruling the North and Tyrion will be king, or they'll rule the kingdom together.
I definitely think that Dany's going to die. I mean, she's absolutely going to die. She's not going to end up on the Iron Throne, especially after what she did and all those people that hate her now because of it. She's got to go.
100%.
She has to go as bad as Cersei had to go, and that pissed me off. How Cersei died.
We've been waiting for this Valonqar theory to come to fruition since I think season 3, whenever they showed her with Maggie the Frog, the witch, and they completely ruined it.
Yeah, she got crushed with her brother, which was really, really stupid. The way the Hound died and his brother was phenomenal, and they just shit on Cersei's death.
100%. Qyburn was funny to watch, though.
Yeah.
How the mountain just kind of squashed him.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, your final theory, what do you think's going to happen?
I definitely think that, Jon's not going to end up on the throne because he doesn't want it. Even though everyone would follow him.
Right.
I definitely think he should do it, but I feel like it's definitely going to be a leadership between Sansa and Tyrion.
Okay, so we pretty much agree.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best candidates, following up to Jon, I don't want to do this, and Sansa, she obviously wants to do it, and she's good at it. She takes after her brother in it.
Right. I don't think she necessarily wants to do it, but I think that she understands that nobody else is qualified to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And they're all, way older than she is.
They are.
I mean,
but
I don't know, man.
For you guys listening, we're going to do something special this week. Up until tonight at 9 o'clock, if you leave a comment in the comment section for this video, and you let us know how you think it's going to end, if you are 100% correct, we're going to send you something from our upcoming merch store. You
do have to be a subscriber.
100%.
You can subscribe as soon as you leave the comment, but you do have to be a subscriber. Only reason is because we don't want, 1 million people commenting and only having one person dedicated to actually watching it. So, it's merch for us, from us. So, if you enjoy it, it's definitely worth having.
100%. It's good merchandise, too. If you check out our Instagram, I'll put a couple pictures of some of the stuff we've already made. It's pretty dope stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's not cheap stuff, It's not like, hey, let's go to the dollar store and pick up a coffee cup and sell it. It's actual...
We've made very quality things.
Exactly. So, leading off of the Game of Thrones... kind of in the gamey section of it, rather.
Right.
Red Dead has come out of the beta phase.
Really?
It's they added poker. Finally, you can play online poker with your friends. They also added a bunch of new story missions, which I have not had the opportunity to complete yet, but I have played a couple, and they are much, much better than what I had anticipated. Also added a few new weapons. They did have a weapon that was a what do you call it? Like a timed only thing.
Oh, okay.
And that's definitely a nice pickup. So yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, and it's definitely going in the right direction.
Well, I'm glad that they added a whole bunch of different things because it was definitely stale there for a long time.
I quit playing it.
Yeah, I also quit playing. I actually sold my PlayStation, so I need to rebuy it for Xbox so I can start playing it again.
Yeah, I hit like level 33 within the first couple weeks, and it was just all fishing. I'm sitting on a fat $1,000, and all my friends are like, "Dude, you look like a hobo." I'm like, "Yeah, but I got $1,000 from fishing. What do you have?"
Right, but also $1,000 really isn't that much when I was playing it online.
It is.
It
is.
Is it now? They fixed the
yes.
the
yeah,
differences.
the first they fixed that within the first week or so, I believe.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I played.
Yeah, the economy when it first dropped was absolutely shit.
Yeah.
It was rough.
But as far as the poker goes, I know that they had some real difficulty with that because they needed to change it for regional. So if you live in an area where online gambling is still illegal, it's not available to you because you can buy gold, like their gold bars, their in-game currency, and then spend that for the poker, like to buy cash to play poker with.
Really?
And they consider that online gambling.
Which is what it is.
I mean,
it is online gambling.
Yes and no because there's no return.
But it's still a pay to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which we covered last week's episodes. If you haven't checked that out already, go check that out. We did a whole a section on that.
Absolutely. Check out all of our stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
But jumping into our first news topic, Mad Dog's going to cover something from his home state.
Yeah, Illinois. For those who don't know, Illinois, people from Illinois, Illinoisans rather, are getting what they call Illinoised. It is absolutely the worst state I've ever been in, and it is absolutely trash. You know, people there are great most of the time. You know, it's one of them states where if you're walking into a store and someone's holding the door, they'll let they'll let you walk right into it. They'll close it on you right before you get in, and they're just not a good type of people. Some of them, at least. You know,
right.
In the cities, I've experienced that. Out in the country, people are nice. You know, they help their neighbors, stuff like that. But in the city, it's definitely not a place where I'd want to stay. And their taxes is absolutely horrible. For example, to get tags on a truck that I used to have out there, it was about, I don't know, $160 a year for tags.
That's a lot.
That's stupid.
I think it's what, 35?
Yeah, it's 35 in the state of Ohio. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is too much.
For a truck. 35, 100 and some odd, and that was 4 years ago.
Right.
I can't imagine what it is today. So they found a way to screw the people who are going electric vehicles, which are increasingly popular with Tesla and the other companies out there, the smaller companies, but Tesla is most known. Registration fees for an electric vehicle in the state of Illinois are currently like $14 and some change, right around that area. Don't quote me on that, it's not exact. They are going to raise that to over $1,000 per year for registration.
Really? Now, is that because of the decreased use of fossil fuels?
Absolutely, but here's the thing. Your power bill goes up.
Right. You have to charge your car.
So where's all that? You get taxed on your power?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So they're just finding ways to screw the people yet again.
And I know that going green or buying an electric car, it's just one very small step that we can take as humans and in humanity to try to not fix the environment, but not screw it up as much as we inevitably would if we did not use electric cars.
Yeah.
So to be punished for that, I don't think that it's right.
What don't you think is right about it? Just out of curiosity, your viewpoints on it.
Just it's too much money. It's gonna deter people from wanting to do not necessarily the right thing. It's not wrong to have like a truck or a car that is not electric. But if you wanted to be progressive and have an electric car and try to decrease your carbon footprint, you shouldn't be taxed extra on it.
I completely agree with you. And Tesla made it really easy to switch over to the electric cars. You can actually buy a car on Tesla's website.
Really?
Customize it.
Wow.
You can build your own car, order it, and they will ship it to probably the nearest Tesla dealership, if that even exists yet.
I think there are Tesla dealerships. I'm pretty sure they're just focused in like
major cities like Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, New York City, Washington, Baltimore,
Chicago. All those major cities.
So if you're in Illinois, you'd have to pick it up in Chicago and then pay $1,000 a year to drive it.
It's ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous, especially whenever the federal government pays you to drive an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
So, because you're saving the planet, really.
Tesla's doing great things. I heard a rumor, I don't know how true it is, that they're working on a complete solar car.
That would be nice. You don't have to stop and charge up.
Right. I think they said that it would have like a 500-mile range before you had to charge it again. But if you were in like a parking lot, you pressed a button, like something on the roof would come back or something like that, and you'd have a solar panel, almost like a convertible, except when it came back, the solar panel would be there, and it obviously wouldn't be convertible. And it would just charge while you're at work.
That would be nice.
Yeah. A lot of people say, like, well, what if it's cloudy? What if, it's raining? You still get the UV light through that. You would still get somewhat of a charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree. That would be that definitely would be something that would speed up road trips.
Right, absolutely.
And instead of, I don't know, would you be able to drive with your solar panels up?
I probably not at first, not in the first couple models that he would make, but Elon Musk is a genius. Like he's the closest that we're ever going to come to a Tony Stark or an Iron Man.
Yeah, I agree. So what's next with him? You think he's going to build an Iron Man suit?
Maybe. They recently launched a rocket. I watched the rocket launch from SpaceX. That was really interesting. It was very successful. I know that he had a podcast with Joe Rogan. This was a while ago. And they were talking about a plethora of different things. But I believe one of the things they covered was space travel and, protecting the Earth from asteroids and things like that. And I believe he's working on a solution to any asteroids that might hit the Earth. And
like a laser beam type thing?
No, he explained it. You wouldn't want to blow up the asteroid.
Well, no, because then you got a bunch of small pieces.
Right, you would have a plethora of large pieces still large enough to hit the Earth.
He's going to Star Trek it, isn't he?
I don't know what that means.
Retractor beam.
Oh,
no. Instead of retracting it in, you push it back. You ever seen that episode?
I have not. I'm not a big Trekkie. I'm not into Star Wars. But what they think that they can do is they can send up a rocket with kind of like backup boosters that they wouldn't initiate whenever they first launch. Mm-hmm. You land the rocket on the asteroid, and then you initiate the backup boosters to push it out of the way.
Do they not realize how fast asteroids are traveling?
Oh, no, I'm sure there's a huge amount of math, but if anybody can do it, it's him.
It's rocket science.
It's literally rocket science, that's right.
Definitely not for me.
But we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into our first commercial break. It's going to be a new thing that we're doing here. Ready? Guys, have you ever been on a date and at the end you were thinking, damn, I wish I were both fresh and smooth? Well, with freshwater smoothing gel, you'll be as fresh as a Canadian swimmer and as smooth as a freshly oiled baby seal. Freshwater smoothing gel. Love it, or you're a communist.
And back from our commercial break.
Back from our commercial break, man. The main topic that we're going to talk about today is going to be Florida people. There's always a ton of crazy Florida stories, just roaming around. We're going to go off of a link to Esquire. We'll provide the link in the description down below whenever we post the video. First one that we have here is grandma was arrested yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before, in Disney World for carrying CBD oil.
Which, for those who don't know, CBD is the stuff in marijuana that has the medical. It's basically stuff used to treat people for like headaches and stuff like that.
Arthritis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joint pain, bone pain.
It treats a lot of different things. It's the healing factor of marijuana. It has all the healing components in it.
Right, you're getting the healing factor without the high.
Exactly. There's absolutely zero THC in it. You're not eating bud. You're not eating leaves. You're taking all the healing stuff, getting rid of the THC, and just having that
Healing
medicine.
Right.
Medicine is what it is.
It's medicine.
Yeah.
It's, I think, legal federally, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It is.
Yeah.
It is legal federally, but states have weird, iffy laws about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, whenever Trump signed the Farm Bill, he legalized hemp, which is anything under, I believe, don't quote me on this one, anything under 0.3%. THC,
right.
Which technically THC is now federally legal.
Right.
But you can't go around, in front of cops smoking a joint.
No, not at all.
Because I don't know how they would test it if it was hemp or higher potency, but I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy about it.
Well, I think if you're going to smoke anything, it would have to be above that percentage. Nobody wants that. You're basically just smoking it for the CBD at that point.
Exactly.
If you're smoking that
Which
low.
isn't such a bad thing, A lot of people drip it, they vape CBD. If you could just smoke it like a normal blunt or, in a bong, that would be nice.
Yeah. Actually, they have CBD. It's flower, just like regular bud, that is only CBD. There's no THC. I don't know. I think that goes through a washing process to wash off the CBD crystals off of it. Also, I think they reverse engineer it. So instead of mixing the hybrids for high potency, and making it stronger, they do it backwards.
So they only get the CBD and not all the THC.
Right. So they're getting weaker and weaker plants. That way they can harvest the CBD without getting the high.
That's how they got the 0.3%.
Maybe.
And that's how the farmers are getting such a low percentage of THC, which is smart. If you want to grow it and sell it legally.
Right, absolutely.
They found a way to do it.
But back to our story. She was kicked out of Disney World.
No, she wasn't kicked out of Disney World. She was arrested and sent to Orange County Jail.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, also kicked out of Disney World
for something that is legal.
Is CBD legal in Florida?
Florida's a funny statement. I do believe it's federally legal, and I'm sure that you could buy it in Florida at like a vape shop or something.
Right.
But I'm not too keen on Florida's laws because they're just a weird state.
Yeah,
they got too much stuff going on.
Florida's got really weird laws, and people are just in general weird in Florida.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
You're always getting these weird ass stories with people. Like there was one wherever this lady was riding around on one of those Rascals, like one of those carts you see people in Walmart.
Yeah.
Riding around a Walmart parking lot drinking wine out of a Pringles can. Yeah.
Who does that?
She got arrested. She's just going in circles for hours.
Oh my gosh. I did hear this one. The Florida man was arrested after hitting his dad with pizza because he was mad he helped birth him.
What?
What is wrong with people in Florida?
Well,
there's a whole category of men in Florida.
Yeah, there really
That's
is.
an actual thing.
Well, I think it all started back in the day whenever those bath salts or spice, like the fake marijuana, was illegal, and you could buy them in head shops.
K2?
Yeah, whatever it was called. And then that one guy beat up some guy in the middle of the street and tried to eat his face. I think that's really where the Florida thing started.
Yeah, if you got to start somewhere, that's where you start, Florida. Good job. Congratulations.
Right.
You done well. Back to grandma, though.
Yeah, back to grandma. I don't think it's right.
I completely agree. I believe that she should get a free trip to Disney World for her and her family. Because they completely ruined it.
Right. It's the least they could do. But I just want to know the stipulations behind it. Not the law. Was it in her vape and she tried to come in with it Did she have a full bottle of oil? Did she appear to be high? Like, I need more information on the story.
You can't really get. You can't.
They're not
really,
going to release that information.
No,
obviously.
not yet. I mean, personally, I would think that she walked in with like a 30 ml bottle in her pocket,
right,
or something like that. Because it's in the story, it shows that she used it for her arthritis, so she's obviously not going to be vaping it.
No,
she might be dripping it, or I mean, she's 69 years old. What's 69 Well, I mean, there's a lot of them nowadays. You see them on YouTube vaping and dabbing and shit.
Right.
But I mean, you're in Disneyland. You're not going to be pulling a dab.
No. But people do really crazy things in Disney World, and we've talked about Disney before with how weird and crazy Disney is. People have gone onto like the Small World ride and different rides and try to spread people's ashes. You know, people there's never been a case of anybody dying in Disney World.
Not that we know of.
People will nobody has ever died in Disney World. The paramedics will show up and they will continuously give you CPR, keep your heart beating artificially until you are out of the park.
And then you're dead.
And then they will, call it or whatever. That way they can say nobody has ever died there.
So what happens if you're going down a ride and you get decapitated? Do they continue to do CPR?
I don't know why you would get decapitated.
It's Disney World.
What does that mean?
I mean, let's be honest. Anything can happen at any time. One of the rides fails. A beam drops down out of nowhere because you're going through this, them tight ass tunnels rides go through. One of the beams breaks loose. A bolt comes down and it fucking chops your head off.
In that case, I would hope that I wasn't on the roller coaster because we're talking about Final Destination now.
Exactly.
And I would wonder what spot that I'm in that death is going to come for me.
That's why you sit at the front.
I feel like I'd want to... Well, no, I wouldn't want to sit in the back either. I don't like roller coasters, so I wouldn't be on the damn ride in the first place.
I love roller coasters, dude. But anyway, Orange County is known for arresting people for stupid things.
Yes.
Did you hear about that one time they arrested the man for eating a glazed donut? They thought it was crystal meth.
They thought the donut was crystal meth?
Personally, I'm a huge Thin Blue Line supporter. I support law enforcement wherever they go. But
I agree.
It's a donut. Just because you want the donut doesn't mean you have to arrest him and say it's crystal meth.
Now, was it a donut or was it the glaze from a donut? Because the glaze from a donut can be flaky. Like if I eat
once
a donut,
it hardens, it turns flaky.
If I eat a donut and I got the glaze, a little bit around my mouth, maybe on my shirt, a little bit on my hand.
What did he do to make the cop think that?
Did
he put the glaze in a spoon and start lighting it?
I mean, he was from Florida. He probably already looked like he did meth.
But anyway, that guy got out with like $37,000 out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, whenever you're...
So if y'all are short on money, go eat glazed donuts in front of police in Orange County.
100%. 100%. You need to.
Or take CBD into Disney World.
I wonder if she's going to get any restitution. I'm going to have to keep up with that story. I'm going to have to follow it.
I mean, they did say that they were going to have to start calling... I forget who moderates the CBD, but they were going to start having to call them and verify that it was legal or illegal before they started making arrests on it anymore. Because wrongful arrests, as you know, the police department can lose a lot of money because of wrongful arrest.
Right. And it really brings up a moral issue. So the police have enough time to go after a 67-year-old woman at Disney World who's just trying to spend the day with her family. When they could be doing other things. Like I said, I'm a huge Blue Line supporter. I support the police 100%. But there's a point where it just gets to be a little ridiculous.
So, yeah, I completely agree. But I don't know if you know this or not, but July 1st, CBD will be legalized in Florida. It's not legalized statewide, but it is legally federal. So I don't know why they would have to pass a law, but they feel like they have to pass one of the other stupid laws that they have. So, but anyways, guys,
we're gonna head out for today.
Yeah,
we hit our mark. We will be back with a podcast on Wednesday. It won't be live. We're going to pre-record one. And then we will be back Sunday with another live podcast for you guys.
Yes. Make sure you guys are, subscribed to our channel because we want to get you guys to interact with us a little bit, because we love to see your guys' comments. We love have interaction with the people who are watching live and the people who are watching later on. 'Cause, we go back and look at those things. So definitely hit that subscribe button.
100%. We're getting more followers and recognition on Twitter. More people are watching the podcast, and we really appreciate it, guys. We love doing this project, and we're going to keep bringing it for you guys as much as we can.
And as long as we, keep you guys entertained, and as long as you guys are loving it, and we keep getting more people interested in watching, we're going to continue to do it. So, but without further ado, y'all have a great day.
This is us signing off.
See ya.